Welcome to Wrecked Outdoors, everybody. Today is Wednesday, November 22nd, 2023. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So, got a house full of people coming over tomorrow. I like to do as much prep in the kitchen the day before. Eases a little bit of your pain on Thursday. So basically tomorrow we'll have turkeys and some small side dishes. But right now, most important thing I like to get started on is my stock for my gravy and for my stuffing. So I'm just rough chopping these vegetables. If I got onions, carrots, celery, some garlic, poultry seasoning. I got some vegetable base, which will go in a little bit later on. Over here in the back, I've got a kind of a smoked turkey thigh. I'll add that all in. Get the vegetables ready. Like I said, just give them a rough chop. Get them in a Dutch oven, and then we'll transfer those into an oven. Got the oven at 350 preheating. So let's get this process started. Like I said, it will ease some of our pain tomorrow. Have my sisters coming over, my daughters, her boyfriend Chris, the baby Lakeland will be over here tomorrow. But it's a good time to get the family together, eat, drink, have a good time. In the back over here, I don't know if you guys can see it or not in the camera, we got some cherry bounce that Kate's been working on this morning, getting ready. So basically, she'll do a video on that probably in the fall. We have
in the spring
or spring, summertime, late. Well, how about when the cherries are ready to be picked? Is when we'll do that. So
June, July.
Years ago, my mom planted a cherry tree. We got two houses on the east side of the lake. I'm in the original house. My mom got remarried when I was 18 or 19. Moved a couple houses down with my dad Ray. Planted a cherry tree. Thing's humongous now. So Kate normally goes over there and picks cherries and mixes them with some vodka, rum, white rum. White rum, sugar. That's it. And they go into bigger bottles, put them down in the basement, in the bar room and down in the basement, and let them get happy. So it's usually our, maybe a toast for Thanksgiving. Tomorrow everybody will sip on it a little bit. Like I said, I'm just rough chopping these vegetables, make our stock with gravy, stuffing. Go into a 350 degree oven. I'll put a little bit of oil on it. I got some poultry herbs that's going to go in there. I have bay leaves. I can get this open. I'm not a measuring kind of person. I don't use tablespoons and teaspoons and quarter a cup of this or a quarter of a cup of that. Throw the shit in there, it's gonna taste good. Did a lot of cooking when I was growing up with my mother. It's kind of where I got a lot of my passion for cooking. So, like I said, a little bit of olive oil in here. Toss her into the oven. I'm going to probably let this go 35, 40 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. Keep stirring it around. You kind of want to just let these vegetables and the seasoning and everything just kind of get happy in there. So I'll put these in, and then I'll add some water to it. I'll add the turkey thigh to it. And I've got some vegetable base, which I really like using this. I use chicken stock, beef stock, but I started using the vegetable base here a while back. I use it when I do roast carrots and potatoes. It's got a lot more flavor, in my opinion. So, stand by. This is ready to roll. Been in here for about 38 minutes. We're gonna pull it out. I've been in and out of the house this morning. Got some other stuff going on the pellet grill. And there's been a lot of ducks out there in the water, which is good. I knew they'd be moving in. It's getting colder up north. I had every intention to go out this morning, but couldn't get my lazy ass out of bed. So you can probably see this pot full of goodness. So at this point, I got turkey thighs. We're gonna put that in there. Got that crazy beagle in the back. So, be careful, this pan is hot. It's beginning to smell a lot like Thanksgiving in here, and we haven't even got started yet. I'm gonna finish up this. Got some other things to do. Got some white wine that I'm gonna add to this concoction. When I get everything in here, I'm going to this needs to cook for the longer the better, I'm gonna say. So I got the pellet grill going on out back. It's around 275, 300. I think I'm gonna leave it right there, and just let it roll. Keep checking it maybe every hour or so. You can't overcook this. Don't bring it to a boil, is what the experts say. Because I guess if you do, your gravy will be cloudy. So I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna throw it on the pellet grill and let it roll. Smells really good.
This recipe is called Nantucket Pie. It's really a very simple cranberry cake. I like to try different recipes, and with cranberries being in season, seemed like a great time to try this one out for Thanksgiving. It was really easy to make, and I would definitely make it again. It turned out great. It was delicious. I was actually surprised at how good it was. The one suggestion that I have is not to strictly follow the recipe for the 2 cups of cranberries that it calls for. You'll see when I flip this thing over later that some of my batter leaked through to the bottom, and having a little bit of a thicker cranberry layer at the bottom of that would prevent your batter from leaking through. That certainly didn't affect the flavor, and it was still delicious. I would definitely make this recipe again, and not just for Thanksgiving. I think it's a great dessert whenever cranberries come in season. like to blind bake my crust for a recipe like this with a wet filling. I've got some pie weights and also just plain old dried beans, and either one works great. Just make sure that you fill your pie crust up to the top with your pie weights, otherwise where it's not weighed down it will puff up in the oven when you're partially baking it. Growing up, my mom always made the pumpkin pie recipe on the Libby's pumpkin puree can, and to me that is what pumpkin pie tastes like. I found a recipe that uses condensed milk instead of evaporated milk like the Libby's recipe, and I like that the batter is a lot thicker than when you use evaporated milk. So now I use the Eagle brand condensed milk pumpkin pie recipe, but the one thing that is non-negotiable is you gotta add a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, which that comes from the Libby's pumpkin pie recipe, and without that clove flavor it's just not pumpkin pie. It just doesn't taste right. I use a little silicone ring thing that I put around my crust, and that just helps it not get too brown in the oven, especially since we partially baked it before we added the filling. That can happen. You can use tin foil just as easily. I had a little bit of extra batter after filling up my pie shells, so I just threw that into a ramekin and baked that right alongside my pies. Coming out of the oven, looks great, and I've got a nice little crustless pumpkin pie.
So, I've got a lot going on. Kitchen's dirty, sink's full of dishes. I got that stock off. It turned out really good. During the process, had that on a pellet grill about 305 degrees. I put 2 turkey thighs on this morning on the smoker. Pulled one of them off. Used it for my stock. Got that all drained off. Pulled the one out of the stock pot. Threw it back on the smoker. So that's rolling now. But the potatoes going. I've got. These are almost done. I'm not doing anything special with the potatoes, so just I got russet potatoes in there, a couple red skin potatoes. We're just kind of using up what we have in the house. So I'm doing the gravy. So I got about half a stick of butter. Watch your heat on this. You don't want to burn your butter. It's a little hot. I got the bigger burner going, but everything else is full. So I'm going to get started with the gravy. Half a stick of butter. We'll throw some flour in there and make a roux, and I'll slowly add that stock in. I think I mentioned earlier I did about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours while I was doing the stock. I added some pepper, salt, a little more of the I added garlic base to that. I'm making a roux for the gravy. So when you're making this roux, it's butter and flour. You may have to add a little more flour. Keep your heat on low. The lighter the roux mix, the lighter gravy is going to be. If you want a heavier, like a darker flavor, like for corned beef or pot roast, you're going to want to use, you can let it go a little bit further. Let the butter and the flour get a little bit darker. So we're doing turkey gravy, so a little bit light. So that's going on right now. Potatoes are almost done. I just put some garlic base in this, salt, pepper, These are almost done. I'm going to shut these off. We'll come back to these later on. So I'm spooning some of this turkey stock that's been going all day. I think I put it on around 12:30, 1 o'clock. Pulled it out. What time did I pull it off, Kate? Around 4:30, 4:45. So I'm adding this into our roux mixture. I'm going to grab a whisk. And keep it on low, because is this, stir everything in, get everything incorporated with it. And as this gets hotter, it will thicken more. I got my spatchcock turkey ready. I'll put that in the morning. We got a spiral ham in there. So as I said, I kicked this up a notch, the gravy, during the process. Added some pepper, salt, and some vegetable broth to it. So come along good. I always like to save a little bit of my water from my potatoes, so I will put a little bit of milk in there, maybe some salt, pepper, depending on the taste. Taste it to your liking. And I always throw a little bit of ranch dressing mix, the powder dressing mix, into there. So I got our stuffing mix. It's a special mix of, what's all in here, Kate? We bought it at the grocery store.
Different breads.
Just different breads. So I got the manly and the kid and stuff. Got a couple of eggs from Kate's mom. She's got chickens. I think I mentioned that earlier. Mix these up. I'll let the onions and the celery kind of get happy over there. Gravy's looking good. I may have to add a touch of flour to that to thicken up a little bit more. May do that tomorrow, I'm not sure. The key is just to, prep everything the day before as much as you can. Then you're not overwhelmed with all of the work that you have to do the next day. And you can visit with your family. So, and I'll be thankful. I'll be thankful to have my family over. That's what Thanksgiving's all about. So I got some thyme, rosemary, and sage. I've got seasoned pepper, and I've got garlic, onion, black pepper, and sea salt seasoning that I put into the stuffing mix. I'll add flavor to the gravy, to the stuffing. Now the stuffing will suck up the juice. Put it in some aluminum pans so we don't have quite a bit of mess to do tomorrow. I'll set this one off to the side. The kid version. I'm not sure. I don't think that Kayla's a stuffing kind of person. I don't know if her so we've got my granddaughter Lakeland, and that kid is an eating machine, so it's going to be exciting to see her. So she'll be, I think I mentioned this earlier, 14 months this Thanksgiving, but she's
We see her all the time, though.
we do.
Yeah.
We see her all the time. Well, it's going to be exciting to watch her. I want to give her some turkey and some stuffing and some of Papa's mashed potatoes. Glad a kid likes to eat because her Papa likes to cook. So, thanks for joining us. Until then, like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the morning. Thank you.
Good job.
But this is for you.
Hello world.
Where'd you?
Awesome.
Hello world.
This is a spiral hand, but the other hand turned out really the older one. We'll get some close-ups.
That's hot.
What are you taking video of?
Look at that. You look just like a little conductor.
Yep.
Say,
It'll
overflowing in there.
clog up.
I bet she's.
It must have turned on. It did turn on.
Camera, say welcome to Wrecked Outdoors, everybody. I'm Oakley. Say it.
Welcome to Wrecked Outdoors, everybody. I'm Oakley.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.
Hello.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, come on, everybody, fix your plates.